Ian, great to see you. Here we go again. We'll look back briefly first. So close at Barnsley. Seems a long time ago now. How's it in your mind?
It's still there. It still eats away at me a little bit. But I think, again, some perspective is really important. I think it was an excellent season. Another season of progression. Bitterly disappointed not to have been promoted, because I think we all feel that when we perform at our very best, there aren't any teams that can live with us, and we didn't quite get up to those levels in both legs really. But we lost out on a set play. It was a really tight game. We underperformed, they didn't. So really that's a marker of where I believe we are and where we can get to. We all watched the final at Wembley and wished we were there, because again I think that would have really suited us, but it wasn't meant to be, and from literally an hour after the game it was time to process and think about how we can improve moving forwards. We've done a lot of work over the summer, thinking about not only how we improve the team and the squad, but how we improve behind the scenes, how we improve lost stock, and how we manage to gain those 1% which will get us over the line. 81 points, and as I said, losing out to a set play goal means we're not far away. So, yeah.
Football moves on, of course. Inevitably changes, some leave, some go. 4 players were let go at the end, who all played a part in the journey that we've been on so far. Kieran Lee, of course, Lord Isgrove, Joel Dixon and Ellis Kachunga, all for different reasons, different stages of their careers, but I know they'll have gone with your best wishes.
I think everybody's left on good terms. There hasn't been any fallouts. I was actually in the same hotel as Kieran Lee on holiday, so we managed to talk things through. But yeah, I mean, things happen in football. We really very appreciative of all their efforts, and as I said, they've all been a big part of our journey, and we wish them well moving forwards.
The other side of that coin is, of course, existing players have signed new contracts. We're up to 3 or 4 now, which again is an important part of the involvement, and equally reward for those players that have done well for you and for the club.
Exactly that, really, and I think we want to really avoid players, especially ones that we're happy with and want to keep going into the last year of the contracts, because it makes us vulnerable. We wanted to protect ourselves, we wanted to give the players some security and also reward them for their good efforts so far. They know there's more to come. You've been attacked by a fly there. We know there's more to come from them all, and yeah, looking forward to working with them every day now to improve them again.
New faces, 4 already, or 3.5 if we can call Dan a new face, because we know all about him. But the important thing is he's a Bolton player now for the next 3 years. 2 goalkeepers, and Josh Dacres-Cogley from Tranmere. Happy with the start that you've made in the market?
Yeah, look, it's we're in almost a difficult scenario at the moment, where we've kind of moved past the free agent market, and now we're looking to improve by taking players from other clubs, and obviously there's fees involved, there's lots of negotiations with not only the player but the selling club as well, and that takes time. So just an air of patience. We're working really, really hard. We're, I think, in a really good place. The ones that we've done so far I'm delighted with. They've started really, really well and settled really well, especially over here in Portugal. So yeah, onwards and upwards.
Yeah. Just individually on those lads, I know Dan, you worked with him for a few months last season. You said you'd like to work with him more because you think there's a real player in there,
yeah.
Presumably, and now you've got that chance.
Yeah, I think pre-season in particular is a real key block of time for Dan, but not just for Dan, but for the January recruits as well. Some of them, I think they'll be the first to admit, haven't hit the heights that we know they can get to as yet. Not that they've underperformed, but I know how good they can be, and I think this block of time to really coach them, to ingrain them into our philosophy and what we want from them, that's really difficult in season when you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, because time on the grass is really limited. It's this time now that we can really get some technical detail into the players, and I think we'll see the benefits of that. Dan needs to be fitter and needed to be fitter, but he has so many tools, and he's a really exciting talent. He needs a home. Bolton Wanderers is now his home, and hopefully we can improve him and unlock all that untapped potential.
And Josh sounds like another exciting player, not a young player. He's got a lot of good appearances under his belt, but somebody who'll excite everybody by the sounds of it. A real attack-minded wing back, a lot of pace and a lot of attributes. Yeah,
again, I mean, it's really important that we have some context behind this signing. Josh was a player that has played in the Championship. He's been at Birmingham City. He's been playing at a high level, and yes, he had to dip out and prove himself, so to speak, but he was excellent at Tranmere, absolutely fantastic, and has deserved this opportunity and chance. The way he plays really suits what we want to do. So again, I'm looking forward to working with him.
Yeah, we've lost our loan players. We've spoken at length about how good they were for us. Of course, that left a void in goal. 2 goalkeepers in Nathan Baxter and Joel Coleman. And again, obviously, they're guys that tick the boxes and hopefully going to go and have good careers with us.
Yeah, I think starting with Joel. Joel is a really steady, safe pair of hands, really. He's had a lot of experience.
And he spent a bit of time with us last year, so you had a look at him, didn't you?
Exactly,
yeah.
And he understands the role. He was with Ipswich last season and seen them go on and get promoted and was a part of that squad. And yeah, he's from Bolton, which also has huge importance because he understands the fans, he understands the area and wants to be a part of what we're doing. Nathan is a really exciting signing. He's 24 now and at an age where again he needs a home and needs to go and blossom. Been at Chelsea from a very, very young age, and you don't spend that time at Chelsea up to the age of 24 if you're not highly rated and highly regarded. We're excited to have him. We think he's a championship goalkeeper at the very least.
Which he has been in recent times.
Exactly that. And again, he's embracing the challenge of taking over from James. James was hugely successful here, had a great time. And as I said, players move on and new players have opportunities, and Nathan's really looking forward to showing everybody what he can do.
It goes without saying, everybody's working hard behind the scenes. There will be more to come before the season starts, but equally it's a long time since the season starts. Everybody feels it's got to be done now, but there's a process, isn't there? Exactly
that, and I think we're working extremely hard on improvements. As I said, we're not too far away, but we know what we need to do to improve. We're excited about pre-season, we're excited about the start of the season. Again, a massive, huge thanks to the board to enable us to come away from here, because this time is really crucial. Having the players 24 hours a day, helping them build new relationships, helping build that environment and culture that we want for the remainder of the season is great and a huge asset for us. So, yeah, really important and really excited by what I've seen so far.
Just going to come on to that, Portugal. Here we are again, second year in a row, a fantastic facility to train in. It obviously worked for you last year, and you've repeated the measure this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we've, as I said, from the minute the final whistle blew at Barnsley, it was about how we improve, and we've done lots of work over the summer, not just on recruitment but on how we improve as well as a team. It was clear to everybody that we didn't score enough goals last season. Now there's reasons behind that, and we'll work very hard to improve that this season, and if we can match that with our defensive record, we're going to be a difficult team to stop. So yeah, as I said, this block of time on the grass is crucial to players, having them 7 days a week, focusing just on technical, tactical, physical detail compared to having to play recover is vital to us, and I'm looking forward to it.
The lads are working hard, and they've had to just tailor training time a little bit around the hot sun, but this is what you come out for, to work in good conditions and, as you say, get everybody together.
Yeah, exactly that. I think, again, they've really bought into what we're doing and know how important this is. Training very early in the morning, training very late at night. To miss out on the hot weather is huge for them, because they're doing a lot of physical work and they've been extremely tired, but they'll see the benefits of that as the season progresses.
The fixtures are what they are. We play everybody twice, we know that, but they came out and it looks, a nice start. What are your early thoughts on how it pans out?
I just know that we're at home, first game of the season. I'm really excited by that, because I think at home we're a difficult team to beat, and I think our fans were amazing last season. So yeah, looking forward to starting off and then seeing how we go.
And then Barrow in the League Cup as well, which I know we played them last year, and you've played them since you left there, of course, but the reunion there for you?
Yeah, look, I've played them a fair few times since I've left, but that's a long time ago now. It's coming up to the 4th season now, so just focusing on our job and hopefully winning that game and getting through to the next round.
Which brings us nicely around to an anniversary this weekend. 3 years you'll have been Bolton Wanderers manager this weekend. So how do you look back on that time? There's so much has happened. Has it flown? Does it feel like you've been here forever?
I mean, yes, it's a good point. I was just having a pretty lengthy conversation with a good friend of mine, Rob Edwards, who's Luton's manager, and we were talking about how you're always moving on to the next thing. We're concentrating on promotion this season. He's now got a season in the Premier League, and your focus is pretty much on that, but you lose sight about what you've already achieved and what's been done. He had a great season last season, obviously, but it started awfully at Watford, and it shows you what can happen in football. Here, we've had 3 years of progression, 3 tough years. A lot of hard work's gone into getting this club to where it is today, not just from me, but from my staff, from Sharon, the board, Neil, Chris. They've all played a huge part in that. And yeah, it's now time for us to go and take that next step. Almost phase 1 is complete. We're now ready for phase 2 and to get ourselves back in the Championship.
Yeah, I'll just finish on that. I mean, last year was a good season by anybody's standards, given the progress and where we finished and won a trophy, which everybody will remember. So as you say, every season you just want to try and better that. And if we do better that, we're very far away from, as you say, perhaps being back in the Championship.
Exactly that. As I said, it's really important to me that we keep progressing. Every year as a manager, my teams have progressed, and I think we'll be doing the same again this season. As I said, you do need a bit of luck as well along the way. I don't think last season we had too much of that, especially given injuries that we had at key times around Christmas. We lost Jack Iredale and Jon for the rest of the season, and Jon, he's a goal scorer and he's a hugely talented player, and we're excited to see him back fully fit again. So yeah, as I said, we know what we need to do. We know exactly what it looks like, and now the hard work starts to make that happen.
And just in closing, the supporters have bought into it already. We know with the season ticket levels, and first real game's a little bit away, but I know their excitement will be mounting, and again they'll have a pivotal role to play.
Yeah, I mean, everybody plays their part in different way, and we're fully appreciative, myself very much appreciative of everything the fans are doing. Whether you've bought a season ticket or whether you've put some money into the bond, it makes a huge difference to me and the rest of the football club. So huge thanks, and hopefully we can repay that support this season.